Turn it up! Turn it up!
Yeah. everyone. Something is happening quite precious tonight at the company house.
Yes, at the company house as part of the Atlantic Fringe Festival in Halifax. God made me this way. Playing Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then next Saturday and Sunday.
So can we know a little bit more? We've been watching the video, and I have to say that the title really sparked my interest.
Well, God Made Me This Way is all about how God made me, and it tells some of the stories of my life and basically how I found my way fitting into groups. So right now I'm trying to find the comic spin on that, and one of the stories I'll be telling tonight is how I was born and raised in Montreal. Never learned how to speak French. So, no. You're going to hear the tragic story of my unilingualism. So that's very sad. I love poutine.
Le smoking?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I know how to eat French. I just don't know how to speak French.
La pizza?
Yeah, that's Italian. You can't take other people's ethnicity. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Traffic jam.
I got it all. Anyway, I gotta go because I gotta get ready for this show. So
Thank you very much for SteveTv. We look forward to this.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
For my clapping, what if I miss? What if she tells a really good joke while I'm taking a drink and I spray all over the people in front of me? What if she tells a really good joke and I pee my pants? That would be embarrassing. Oh, for you. Well, I'm here to say, don't worry, don't be nervous. You're pretty good. I mean, you're not the best audience I've ever seen, but you're okay. You could maybe use a little more practice, hone your craft, take a class. I don't know what's going to make you a better audience. That's really not my job. My job is to just stand here and tell jokes. The rest is you. So if you suck, that's really not my fault. So I just want to set something straight. I don't want to do this. This was not a part of my plan. My plan was to be in Los Angeles filming a sitcom with Tina Fey, Mindy Kaling, and Ellen DeGeneres. But then God said, "No, MJ, I have a better plan for you." To which I said, God, I really don't like it when your plans get in the way of my delusions. But he said, "This one's good. It's way better than an imaginary sitcom with Tina Fey." I said, "Okay, God, quit your nagging. What is it?" "Do a show at the Atlantic Fringe Festival in Halifax." Wow, God. You really dare to dream, don't you? You're an idiot with ridiculous pipe dreams, and you have to do something real. Let me explain. My God sounds like Louis Black. I'm not saying that God is a man or that God exists. I'm just saying that my God sounds like a Jewish stand-up comedian who's a real jerk to me. That's what his voice sounds like. I love the sound of people's voices. I love doing different voices. Like men sound like this, and women sound like this, and little boys sound like this, and old ladies sound like this, and Scottish people sound like... Okay, I said I like doing different voices. I never said I was good at them. And you know, it's funny because when I think of a woman's voice, I raise my voice, even though I actually am a woman. You know, and some people have problems with women's voices, like they find them too shrill, or like my dad, he says he can't hear women's voices. He says their voices are at a frequency that make them hard to hear. So one time, there was this fire in our house, and my mom and my sister and I, well, we just made our way out quietly. I mean, he couldn't hear us anyway, so why waste the breath? I had a friend who told me that now that she's in her 40s, because when she's in meetings, because she is no longer sexually viable to the men in the meetings, they can't hear what she says anymore. What? So, I am MJ. My full name is Mary Joanne Miller. My grandmother called me Mary, my parents called me Joanne, so I called myself Kathy. I figured it's my name, I should have some say in it. I've always had trouble fitting in or doing what I'm told or following the crowd. You know, if my family was going right, I would follow a stranger onto a bus and tell them my name was Kathy. You know, it's like I've spent my whole life trying to escape who I am. Oh, I am a straight, white, middle-class, middle-aged Canadian mother. I know. Fascinating. So in this show, I'm going to tell you straight, middle-aged mother jokes. I wanted to appeal to all of you, but only half. Well, less than half. Only probably you are going to find this funny. I suffer from a big ego and low self-esteem, which means I'm really hard on myself, but in a superior kind of way. I actually went to a therapist, and she told me I was a narcissist, and I was doomed if I did not change my self-centered ways. So I thought I'd hop up on stage and talk about myself for an hour. I mean, I was actually quite shocked when she said that. She just took one look at me and called me a narcissist. She didn't even take time to get to know my crappy personality. And she got paid for that. I mean, I could do that. You're a narcissist, you're an idiot, you're an asshole. Oh, yeah. So anyway, God said, it's time to be yourself and take a stand. Stand? Stand up! Stand up? Stand the fuck up! So, anyway, this is my first time doing stand-up. I was going to deliver this sitting down, but then I realized the first rule of stand-up, stand up. So bear with me. I'm just going to refer to this book that I bought, Stand-Up Comedy for Dummies. I was going to get stand-up comedy for comedians, but apparently dummies are the only ones that do stand-up. Okay, so chapter 1, airline food. Do they give you food anymore? No? Okay, all right, let me just check something. Oh, published in 1983. Okay, I can do this. Airline food. I mean, it's so bad. I used to think those barf bags in the seat pockets were for turbulence. No? You're okay with that? Okay, all right. Okay, chapter 2. Talk about your addictions. Oh, I know. I really like Doritos. No! I mean, I really like them. Like, I will do anything for them. Like, anything for them. Like, I will pay $6 at the corner store when I know I can get them at the grocery store for half that. If I could, I would sprinkle that orange shit all over everything I ate so that everything tasted like Doritos. Okay, so, chapter 3. Talk about the size of your penis. Seriously? Okay, all right. 1983. I guess women didn't exist back then. My penis. How about I just skip ahead? Talk about how frustrated you are that your girlfriend doesn't want to have a threesome. I think most of the women I know would be fine with sleeping with 2 guys. Yeah. I know a lot of sluts. I think I should skip that part too. Are you sure you want me to do this? You know, when God told me I had to do this, I said, God damn it, what if no one comes? You've seen how few likes my stuff gets on Facebook. But here. I don't mean here at this show. I mean, that is kind of unlikely, but I mean here. I mean, chances of you being you are like 100 zillion to none. Or me, or anyone. And yet it's like there are so many of us, and none of us matter, and we can be just wiped out like ants. Like you are so special and so nothing at the same time. That's how Lewis Black likes to fuck with your mind. I mean God. I kind of like the idea of God because I like the idea that there's always someone to blame. So if you don't like this show, you know where to send the hate mail. Lewis Black. His email address is mail@lewisblack.com. Anyway, God said, I am a shepherd, and you are a fucking lamb that has strayed from the flock. Apparently, because of my reclusive tendencies, I am at a high risk of attack. I was watching these pheasants in a field the other day, because in Nova Scotia you can do that. And there was this fox coming towards them. And just as they started to notice the fox, they all started to group together. Except one. One stupid female pheasant who was distracted by her iPhone or catching a Pokemon or something, and she didn't notice that all the other pheasants had grouped together for protection. And she was just standing there like an asshole pheasant. And the fox was coming closer and closer until you know what she did? She ran away. Not towards the pack, away from the pack. And I thought, shit, I am that stupid pheasant. She probably got sick of interacting with all the other stupid pheasants on social media and thought, I gotta get the hell away from all this. But she didn't realize, if you don't stay with the pack, you'll die. I have never been much of a pack animal. When I was a kid, I was told I was the black sheep of the family, which made no sense to me because I wasn't black. Or a sheep. I mean, sheep are clearly the most racist in the animal kingdom. And it's a weird word because sheep is both plural and singular. I mean, the plural of goose is geese, so why isn't the singular of sheep, shoop? I mean, I just think if you're going to make rules, you should stick to them. So, anyway, I always thought of myself as the peach shoot of the family. My sister is a neurosurgical nurse practitioner. My brother is an environmental lawyer, and my other brother is an emergency room doctor. So you can imagine how proud my parents are of me. My older sister was too cool to hang out with me. And she always used to make fun of me because I always used to do up my top button. If I wasn't supposed to do it up, why is it there? And my brothers, they would let me hang around with them, but that meant taking a lot of flying objects to the head. So I knew from a young age I was going to have to go it alone. My parents brought us up with the great parental mantra, children should be seen and not heard. But I had a very loud voice and would disappear a lot, so I was kind of heard but not seen. And I used to think I was invisible because I could sneak from one place to another without ever being detected. Maybe I was just getting lost in the crowd. Maybe it was because I was 3 of 4 kids. That sounds like I was a Borg or something. I am 3 of 4. I mean, being 3 of 4 really sucks because you don't even get to claim the crappy title of the middle child. I am the second middle child, which is not even a thing. I mean, there are no groups, no therapy sessions for second middles. Anyway, I thought I was invisible, and I did really weird things. Like, whenever the school gave me something to take home, I would put it in the mailbox. I don't know why I did that. I just did. It was fun. And sometimes, on my way to school, I would put my lunch in there. Bye-bye, lunch! I was hungry a lot. And everyone's mail smelled like tuna. My dad gave me the nickname Weird Old Harold, which proved to be a pretty well-earned name, especially when I tried to convince my grade 2 teacher that my red wool hat was actually my hair. So fitting in at school wasn't any easier. I remember one time I was sitting on the bus and I heard this kid yell out, "We shouldn't let Chinese people on the bus." And I looked around to see which Chinese person we were going to throw off the bus, and they were all looking at me. They all thought I was Chinese. I don't know why. Maybe they had never seen a real Chinese person in the white suburbs of Toronto. I don't know. And they would say things to me like, "Your eyes look like 2 piss holes in the snow," which sounded poetic, but I knew it wasn't a compliment. And they would sing rhymes like, "Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these." Sorry, what did you just say? I mean, I just think if you're going to be racist, you should maybe choose your intended racist target before you start your rhyme. China and Japan are 2 entirely different nationalities, and then it just sounds like random words. Mexican, South African, watering can, jazz hands. It doesn't make any sense. I always wondered why the sight of dirty Asian knees would cause white people to want to show off their breasts. I mean, hey you, looks like you've been working in a garden. Get a load of these. I should get back to Stand Up for Dummies. Not that you're all dummies. I'm sure you're very smart. I'm not actually that sure. Okay, oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, the next 3 chapters are dedicated to masturbation. I can do that. I mean, I can talk about that. Anyway, masturbation is just a weird word that doesn't describe the act very well. I mean, if you're a masturbator, it already implies you're good at it. You're not like one of those other minor baiters. I mean, you're so good, you've received a university degree in it. A master's in baiting. But what are you baiting anyway? I mean, it's you, right? So you set the trap. Let's see if you fall for it. Oh, look at that, you did! But you really didn't catch anything. And I mean, that's a good thing. Being a masturbator, you probably won't catch anything. Of course, you can say jacked off. That is sort of like the community college version of the masturbator. You might not be as intellectual, but people probably say you're very good with your hands. Okay. All right, this is going all right. I actually love being on stage. I remember my first time ever on stage. One Halloween, my school had this big outdoor concert, and they invited all the other neighboring schools, and they had this costume contest. And lo and behold, when they announced the winner of the costume contest, the teacher called out, "Joanne Miller." And all the other kids went, go get your prize. And I thought, this is really weird, because I didn't wear a costume. But in my world, where lunches went in the mailbox and wool hats could be your hair, I thought it kind of made sense that I would get a prize for wearing my regular clothes. So I headed up onto the stage, and the teacher looked at me really weird. And just then I noticed this girl coming out of the crowd with a broken leg, wrapped from head to toe in bandages like some kind of Egyptian mummy. And the teacher leaned down to me and said, "She is the real Joanne Miller." That experience created in me my life's long dream to stand on stage and be humiliated. God loves humility, which I'm not very good at. I am, however, very skilled at self-pity. I'm always telling God, life has no point and nothing matters. But he always says, "You want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about." That's why bad stuff happens, because I was crying about something that didn't matter. I mean, I've never really had a problem with religion and all the crazy shit people say happened. You know, scientists say,
You can move an atom in this part of the universe, and through quantum entanglement, it will affect an atom in this part of the universe.
and I'm like, okay. And then tech guys are like, yeah, your computer, it works on a binary system, zeros and ones. Zeros and ones make your computer go. And I'm like, okay. And then religion's like, and then a man rose from the dead. And I'm like, okay, I have no clue what's going on. Believe whatever the hell you want. I was brought up Catholic, but I never felt like a Catholic. I always thought of myself more as a cafeteria Catholic. I'll have a little bit of that. I won't have that. None of that. That is gross and twisted. Repression, guilt, shame, yeah, I'll take extra scoops of those. That's the good stuff, yeah. And I like church. I mean, I like the set, I like the costumes, I like the snack at the end. The body of Christ could use a little dip, but it's still good. And wine. I would gather my dolls, collected from all over the world, and I would speak the word of the Lord to them. And so, my fair maidens, those of you who are not circumcised shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. And remember, Jesus was a virgin too. And I was suited to being a priest because I also thought the altar boys were cute. Anyway, one day, a bunch of adults came into our Sunday school class and they asked who wanted to be a priest. So, I raised my hand and all the other kids started laughing. I quoted Ephesians 5:4 to them, but they would not stop. And then the kid beside me said, "Girls can't be priests, they have to be nuns." But I don't want none of that, because nuns had to take a vow of poverty, and priests drove BMWs. Oh, I should really get back to the real work of the Lord. Stand up. Chapter 7. Complain about your girlfriend or wife. Really? Oh, I hate those comedians. You know the ones? So, I just got married last year. Oh, you know what's coming next. My wife talks too much. My wife doesn't like it when I leave my dirty socks on the floor. My wife turns the channel when I'm watching the football game. I don't get it. Do they just get married to develop a bad set list? I mean, there's got to be a special place in heaven for women who date comedians. I mean, would you do that? Would you date a stand-up? Oh, yeah. So it's great. My boyfriend, he stands up in front of about 50 people every weekend and complains about everything I do. It's so romantic. All the women in abusive relationships are thinking, that makes a few drunken punches to the head sound not so bad. Oh, I hope you're not offended by that joke. I don't like being offensive. You know, there's those comedians who would friggin' kill a baby for a laugh. I would never do that. I would never kill a baby for a laugh. Unless that would make you laugh and then that baby's dead. I mean, you paid your money. I'm just faking it till I make it. In my life, it's more like fake it till I get caught. I've never been able to get to the make it part. One of the reasons I never learned to fit into groups is that my family moved around a lot. I was born in Quebec, but my father worked for Canada and was transferred to New York and Toronto, and it wasn't until grade 5 when we moved back to Montreal that I had ever heard French. I was dropped in to a totally bilingual group of kids, and we were not allowed to speak English at all. I caught on pretty quickly that no matter what the teacher said, we were to say, "Oui, madame, d'accord." We said it over and over and over again. This woman needed a lot of positive reinforcement. It was the equivalent of 30 10-year-olds Heiling Hitler every time she spoke. I have no idea what we were agreeing to. I mean, I hope it wasn't genocide, but one can never be sure. Anyway, one day I had to go to the bathroom and I thought, maybe this is one of those days where an exception could be used. So I approached the teacher's desk. "Can I go to the bathroom?" "En français!" To which I replied, "Je pipi." She went batshit crazy. I peed my pants and I never spoke a word of French again. Over the years, I learned to fake being French by smoking very strong cigarettes and looking very unimpressed. Whenever I thought somebody might catch on, I'd throw in a "Maudit anglais." That's where I learned to fake it. I have always been plowing the hard road while looking for the easy one. I always thought that maybe being better looking would make it easier to fit in. I mean, like right now, like I feel like if I was better looking, I wouldn't have to do anything. I could just stand here and you guys would feel like you got your money's worth. Like if I could trade careers with anyone, I think it would be Jennifer Aniston, because I think she's really good at being pretty. And she doesn't seem to have to do anything other than almost get married and almost have babies. I really support her facial accomplishments. Anyway, I'm okay. I mean, not bad. Nothing to write home about. Not that there are many people to write home about. Dear Mom and Dad, I just saw a really good-looking person and I wanted to write home and tell you because I thought they were something to write home about. That would be a really weird letter home. I think I'm better looking than I think I am. But I'm okay. I always wondered if it would be better to be in the don't bother, beyond hope category. Because, you know, I kind of feel like if I got a nose job and dyed my hair blonde, wore blue contacts, was 5 inches taller, and could grow a bum, I would be stunning. So looking okay just makes me feel like I'm being lazy. Yeah. I was never the hot girl. I was friends with the hot girl. In fact, I was friends with the hot girl before she was hot. It was grade 8 when she became super popular. I, however, was not. I mean, she actually hated it, which I hear a lot of women say. Oh, it was about puberty. Oh, it was so uncomfortable. Everybody was looking at me, and so that is really too bad for them. Anyway, she really hated it, and she wanted everybody to stop looking at her chest. So I came up with the great idea for her to wear turtlenecks every day. You know, to cover them up. But when you're friends with a hot girl, you have a lot of responsibilities. Not only to advise on wardrobe, you have to field all the attention she gets. The hot girl can never be approached directly. I mean, guys have to go through you first. You're kind of like her administrative assistant. I mean, they would come up to you and say, "Can Jennifer go out on Saturday night?" And then you would ask her, and then you would say, "No, she's got figure skating. That's what she said." That's what she said was actually my line before it was Steve Carell's. Anyway, so guys weren't that into me, except to talk to her. Except this one guy. He was really shy and quiet, and he found eye contact very challenging. But he liked me. At that time, I had very short hair, and I was what was referred to as a late bloomer. Anyway, it was one school dance when he finally got up his nerve. Would you like to dance? Yes. As we swayed to Stairway to Heaven, I heard one of his friends call out, "Hey, look at the fags." So, that was the end of that. I have always worn my hair long since then to avoid confusion. Okay, chapter 8. Talk about your lady like she's a tasty meal. You can look at the menu all you want, as long as you remember to eat at home. I don't know about you, but if somebody came into my restaurant and looked at the menu for a really long time and then went home to eat, I'd be pretty pissed. Nothing wrong with having a meal out as long as he remembers where his oven is. He can't even tell the difference between eating and having sex. I wouldn't trust him to know what, or even where, what an oven is. I mean, if you see enchilada on his penis, you know he got mixed up again. Why eat cheeseburgers when you can have steak at home? Thanks to my dad's job at Air Canada, I have eaten cheeseburgers, McDonald's cheeseburgers, on almost every continent in the world. I got to travel to China and Japan, and I hugged them and I called them my people. But in Japan, they don't hug, they bow, and they did not think I was Chinese or Japanese. They did, however, comment on my dirty knees. When I was 17, my father announced that he had been transferred to Halifax. I did not want to move again. So I told my family they could go to hell if fax without me. Come on, I thought I was pretty clever for thinking that up. When I got here, I started university, and I was greeted with that warm, friendly, down-home maritime welcome. You know the one where they call you a come from away? But that was okay, because no matter where I lived, I was always from away anyway. I mean, I've lived most of my life in Canada, but I've never felt Canadian. I've never seen a moose in my life, despite all the friggin' road signs warning of them. I mean, to me, they're just like Snuffleupagus. Only one dumb bird ever saw that thing. And while the other kids were home watching Beachcombers reruns, I was watching the Brady Bunch. I mean, the Brady Bunch was this awesome family with a cool house and real kid problems and super horny parents. Well, as far as I could understand it, the Beachcombers was about a bunch of cranky old people floating logs from one place to another. I remember thinking, oh, Canada, you are so weird. I totally missed the Beachcombers boat. I mean, reality, hard work, that was for Canadian suckers. I would take my Air Canada plane and fly it straight into the American dream. I love the Brady Bunch. I still love the Brady Bunch. I love that every time when Carol got on the phone, Mike got all hot and bothered and started kissing her neck. Oh no, Mike, stop. No, really stop. No. But I wasn't just watching for the hard-ons. I mean, that was part of it, but I was watching for the inspiration of it. The idea that you could do anything, be anything. I mean, without any effort or ever having sung before, you could be in a family band called the silver platters. You could be an architect simply by rolling up giant sheets of paper. You could get international pop star Davy Jones to play at your school concert. You could even make out with your brothers and sisters because you are not genetically related to them. I always wanted that episode to happen. It never did. But it could. And that is the point. It could happen. Anything could happen. Without any effort at all, you could even be in a sitcom with Tina Fey, Mindy Kaling, and Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, you say God asks, and you shall receive. I'm not a fucking scratch and win ticket. No. He's more like a genie. You have to be very careful about the wording. You pray for $1 million, and then you win a Monopoly game with your friends, and you realize you did not specify the currency. But I do belong to a group. Sadly, not the Brady Bunch. A group that isn't even given the distinction of being called real persons. You hear them talk about us all the time on the TV commercials. We asked real people, not actors. Well, I have something to say, Nissan. Actors are real people. So, I'm an actor, or as God says, you've been pretending to be somebody else your whole fucking life. Being an actor is way harder, and way easier than people think it is. I mean, my best acting always comes into play when I find out who got the part instead of me. Oh, she got that. Oh yeah, no, that's great. Oh no, she's great. Oh, she's so good. She's so good. Yeah, she's good. Yeah. And then you get the weird call from your agent that's supposed to make you feel better. Oh no, don't worry at all. They thought you were a very skilled actor. They just don't like your looks. Sorry, was that supposed to help? You know, imagine if other jobs worked like that. Oh no, don't worry, you are very skilled at flying a plane. You just don't look like a pilot. I was once asked to audition for the prettiest girl on the planet of ugly girls. Most of the other girls were played by men, so that was a great honor. You have to battle your pride so much as an actor. I mean, I recently signed up to do medical simulations pretending to be a real person to help doctors train. So now I get $75 a pap smear. Of course, hookers get $100 for that shit. Just when I think I had finally hit the bottom, a new bottom appears, and it seems to be my job to have it examined. I mean, you know, I think I am paying my dues and someone else's. I mean, being an actor can totally mess up your confidence. I mean, you experience so much rejection and failure. When you even try to think of other careers, ideas pop into your mind like, could I make it as a prostitute? What if no one picks me? But you are given this weird alien status. Like, people look at you with awe and disgust at the same time. And they say things like, can you cry on command? Yes. Have I seen you in anything? No. You must be a really good liar. Yes. And being an actor has let me be a lot of different people. I mean, I have played police officers, politicians, paramedics. I even once played Paula Abdul. And that's just the P parts. But I always hated being told what to do, or say other people's dumb lines, or wear the stupid costumes. I went to Stratford one year, and they put me in a corset, and I said, what the frig, is this the 1600s? And they said, yes. And apparently, Shakespeare doesn't like it when you break up his dramatic soliloquies for the laughs. Oh my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name. So I became a writer. Little did I know I was taking a step down the creative evolutionary ladder. I was going to call this waiting to hear no, because that's kind of what I spend a lot of my time doing. I ask someone to produce something, or I put in a grant, or I apply for the MacArthur Fellowship, and there's this period of waiting followed by a no. I mean, there's those people who think that giving you a no real quick is helping you, but really they're just assholes. So I work alone. I work in a vacuum, and it sucks. Well, I'm not totally alone. I spend my days with my 3 cats, which sounds like a sad way to spend your day, but it's not. It's great. We have so much in common. We spend our days licking each other and catching flies that get into the house. It's great. I really like them. The cats, not the flies. The other day, I heard my cat Duck. Yeah, I named my cat Duck, because why not share your identity crisis with your pet? Anyway, I heard him in the litter box, and the peeing just went on and on and on, and I had to get up and check around the corner, see if there was a grown man standing there. But sure enough, it was just my cat. And I thought, wow, you pee a lot. But that's okay, so do I. Oh, shit. Shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Shit, right. Chapter 9. Okay, chapter 9. Swear. Oh, I just did. People say motherfucker a lot. Do you think if aliens came down to the earth, they would wonder why so many people on this planet are fucking their mothers? I mean, they're just doing it all the time to their moms, whether their moms want to or not. That doesn't sound right. She's like, hey, honey, how was school? Come on, Ma, you know the drill. Or maybe one day she's like, why don't you go fuck your father instead? Why does he always get off so easily? Think you answered your own question, Ma. If my Aunt Jean could hear me now, she would be rolling over in her grave. I always think if someone's rolling over in their grave, they're probably alive. I mean, it's a weird expression, eh? Rolling over in their grave. Like dead people are so offended or embarrassed by what you just said that they start to move. I mean, I would have thought that being dead would free you from such worldly concerns, but apparently it makes you much more sensitive. Now, oh, I can't believe my niece just said that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to roll over and lie face down in my coffin, and that will fix that. Death is how God motivates me. He always says, even with death, you still find a way to sit around feeling sorry for yourself. Imagine if it didn't exist. I recently lost both my parents. Oh, don't worry, I found them. Their cable went out, and they were wandering around trying to find a place to watch Fox News. I have never fit in with my parents' political views. I have always been rather left-leaning in my politics because I believe that's what Jesus would actually do. But my parents' political heroes are Richard Nixon, Brian Mulroney, George W. Bush, Stephen Harper, and Donald Trump. No. If Darth Vader was running for office, my dad would be the first one to tell me he's going to make the Death Star great again. They have Fox News playing on their TV 24/7, and they are always in a state of alarm. It's like everything that's happening is happening to them personally. I mean, Fox really knows how to scare the shit out of you. I mean, even scarier is all the stuff they advertise on Fox. Do you have back pain? Well, now there's a medication made just for you. May cause liver damage, blindness, leaky bowel movements, hives, cancer, horrifying skin fungus, and death. And my mom's like, oh, look at that, something to get rid of my back pain. Yeah, it's called turn off the TV and go for a walk. I mean, it turns out you know who you are now by who advertises to you. According to my Facebook ads, I should be dating seniors and wearing adult diapers. I mean, advertising depends on lowering your self-esteem. High self-esteem never sold neck cream to no one. Low self-esteem is the grease that fuels our economy. So I am doing my part to keep our economy strong. One Victoria's Secret commercial can instantly lower my self-esteem. I mean, I don't think that Victoria's Secret is really a secret anymore. I mean, I think her secret is that her bra is filled with some really weird shit. Like rubber and gel and spider's eggs. I mean, there is absolutely no room in those things for your boobs anymore. A few years ago, they came out with this bra. I'm not making this up. This was a for real product that you could inflate and deflate as you wished. You used your armpit to pump it up. So if you liked a guy, you'd pump him up real big. But if you didn't like a guy, you'd make him look like sad balloons from yesterday's birthday party. I actually know a totally natural way to enlarge your breasts. Way better than silicone implants. All you have to do is have kids. That will give you the fullness that you're looking for. I don't know what you're supposed to do with the kids. I just really like that part of pregnancy. You know, it's like a bonus. It's like God said, here's a little something extra for all your hard work. And you're like, thanks, God, that is really cool of you. And he says, you know what they're for, right? And he whispers in your ear and you think, I have been waiting for these all my life and you want me to do what with them? That is sick, God. Sick. So, I am a mother. Which means if you don't fit in with people, you can create people who need to fit in with you for their survival. I was in labor for 42 hours the first time, 44 hours the second time, and 36 hours the third time. That is more than 3 standard work weeks of labor, and I didn't even receive minimum wage. The weirdest thing about becoming a mother is that everyone all of a sudden assumes you can bake. I had never baked anything in my life, but as soon as the episiotomy stitches dissolved, people started asking for muffins. I'm telling you, it's weird. And then they say, they don't ask you how you are anymore. They say, how are the kids? Or they say things like, oh, 3 kids, you must be busy. And I always say, yes. If you ask me if I'm busy, you are probably working with the false assumption that I feed, clothe, and clean for these children. I always say, lazy moms create independent children. Okay. All right. Chapter 10. Oh, good. Look at this. Comedy tips for women. Great. It's just 3 blank pages followed by a footnote that says women aren't funny. You know what makes you not funny? Being told your entire gender is not funny. I mean, who creates these gender myths? I just picture that some guy sitting at a computer just making stuff up. Women are not strong. Nope. They can make a baby head come out of their vagina, but nope, not strong. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Really? Because we don't seem to be the ones mowing down rooms full of innocent people with AK-47s every week, but okay, women can really lose their minds. And they say stuff like that about men too, like men are afraid of commitment. Someone should explain that to the fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, or they're the ones that he makes up to make life easier for men. You know, like he gets up and he goes, I don't want to exercise anymore. I know, women like dad bodies. Really? Really? That was all over the place last year. So women now no longer want a fit, svelte, muscular male body. No, apparently too many cheeseburgers and naps on the couch. Who can resist? And I mean, I get how men got models, but how did we get firefighters? I mean, what's with that? I like firefighters because I like their big hoses. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, which do you find sexier, exotic dancers or pharmacists? Well, I like those big plexiglass window holes the pharmacists have. I mean, and then people say that men think about sex more than women, and I think, no way. We are taught to think about it from a much earlier age. Think about it. Cinderella and the prince's foot fetish. I mean, Snow White's dwarves are exactly at the height of her crotch, and forget about threesomes, there's 7 of them. I mean, Little Mermaid is always trying to give up her tail. But you know, and then men will say, well, we think about it so much that we'll actually pay for it. And I think, yeah, well, we will subjugate ourselves for thousands of years. That's what we'll do for it. So put your $50 back in your pocket. I mean, it's rough being a woman. And it gets tougher as you age. You know, I don't know if it's been a good thing for me or a bad thing, but